Alright, so let's begin. So today we're going to continue on from what we were doing before. So I've just created a quick animation of a boat. It's only 3 frames, but you get the picture. Last week we learned that we can redraw every single frame. Now, while this is a really cool effect, and it looks really cool when you're redrawing every single frame, of course there are some issues with this. First of all, it takes far longer to get a nice, scene going. Secondly, you don't want to re-edit everything. You might have your background. You don't need to redraw your background every single time. So we're going to learn a new way to design. First of all, we're going to click on the paintbrush down here, the little paint bucket, and we're going to draw a boat. Now, I'm sure you guys can draw a better boat than me. Well, that looks like a bowl. There we go, beautiful. And I'm going to be really arty, and I'm going to even use the right colors for a sail mask. Wow. I'm sure you guys can't draw as good as that. Alright, so now click on onion skin because we want to see it, and we're going to click on 5. You don't have to click below the 5. You can go every 3 frames, but just for simplicity, we'll go every 5 frames. Next, go insert keyframe. So you see you've still got your thingamabob. We're going to click on the black mouse and we're just going to move it over by clicking on the right arrow key. Alright, just like that. Not too much. The less we move it, the better it will look. And do it again. Insert blank keyframe. Oh, not blank. See, insert keyframe. Again. Insert keyframe. Again. Just make sure it's recording. I've done that many times. Very frustrating. Insert keyframe. And again. So now let's see what happens. Looks pretty sweet. We'll do one more. We're going to push it off to the scene, to the right. Okay, so now that we've gotten that done, fantastic work. We're going to do an ocean, and this ocean we will redraw every single time because it will look really cool. So we're going to click down here where it says new layer. Just double click on that and change its name to ocean. And we're going to start all the way over here. Oh, what the hell. Remove frames, like that. So all I did then is, I'll just do that again. So we need to remove all these. So we're going to highlight all these, right click, remove frames, and there we go. Good as new. We're going to get the paintbrush again. We're going to make it a beautiful blue color like the sea. It won't let us. What the hell? Oh, yeah. Right click, insert blank keyframe. Now let's draw the beautiful ocean. Nice. Let's draw it again. Insert blank keyframe. Remember, the ocean moves, so it's alright to have it moving as such. Insert blank keyframe. Very cool. Insert blank keyframe. Right click, insert blank keyframe. Alright, insert blank keyframe. There we go. See, we're drawing over our boat, but it doesn't matter because we're using layers. Alright, I tried to explain this to you in Photoshop, but we use layers when we're designing movies or images, things like that. Alright, let's have a look at that. Press enter. Pretty cool. Now you might say, Mr. Weber, it looks pretty jittery. It's jumping a little bit. And we can play around with that by Just click on the black mouse, and we can click change the frames per second. Let's try to see what happens if we make it 30 frames a second. There we go. We've just sped it up and it looks even better. Wow, we're magicians. See, it's 46 frames a second now, and it doesn't have that jumpiness. So what does 46 frames a second mean? Because we'll make our frames a little longer. Every 5 frames we change. It's going to look slow if we make it, say, 24 frames a second. So all we needed to do was just increase the amount of frames a second. So that means there's going to be 52 frames a second. So now our scene only goes for half a second. 0.6 it says, it goes for 0.6. Alright, let's create another layer, one more layer. How long is this video? One more layer called the sun, el sol, sun. And we're going to have it go all the way back to 1. We're going to draw a beautiful yellow sun in the background. That looks good. Try to use the paint bucket. Yeah, it worked. Alright, so there's our sun. I'm just going to draw the rays. Make it yellow. You're going to say, Mr. Weber, it's in front of the boat. You are correct. So let's move the sun all the way down to here. And now let's see what happens. That's really cool. We could also move the sun slightly as well. But this is looking like an awesome scene now. The other thing I want to talk about, lastly, is the use of 2 things we'll talk about. The paint bucket. Paint bucket should work. Okay. Wait, we're on the wrong layer. See? Not only you guys click on the wrong layer. So the way we get the paint bucket to activate is we got to draw like a rectangle. Like that. Then we click here. Beautiful. Okay. So that's how you use the paint bucket. You've got to draw around it first. Completely. Like that. Pretty cool. It will look much nicer if it's all the way. I mean, and this scene can go anywhere. It's up to you. This is your not assignment. Well, I guess it is to a degree. You know, you can have them fighting. I mean, this is our first scene. The second scene, 2 boats fighting. You know, pirate fighting. And the other thing I want to just talk about lastly is colors. All right. Now it's really important to use colors. I saw quite a few of you using colors last time. So that's good. Just use colors. There's plenty of colors here. If you don't like any of these colors, just click on the color wheel and it all comes up right here. And the final thing I want to say to you guys is look how smooth that is. It's beautiful. Now if you want it to be as beautiful as that, you need to have more frames. I don't want to see this today, even though it was good to see you guys begin like this. See this, and then new frame, then say the next frame the ship sinks. I mean, yes, you can do that. Insert blank keyframe. You know, the ship is underwater. See, the ship's underwater now. Okay, you could do that. Yes, you can, but it doesn't look as good as say, see, look. You need to make it like this. It's smooth, very smooth, and you can do it. Now, just click on the different layers and make sure that you selected the correct layer. If you want to play around with the boat, we should call this boat. Make sure you're clicking on boat. You're not going to be able to draw on boat if you're on ocean. If you're clicking here, you can't change the boat. But if you click on the boat, then you can. Alright, that's where we're going to leave it today. I hope you have fun with your drawing animations. I'll check them on Thursday, and anyone who's done awesome will get merit awards for sure. Alright, thank you. Bye.